Hello there everyone, Ash and Flash here, and welcome on into my spoiler review for Fantastic Four First Steps. I was able to see it a little bit early, thanks to Disney Canada and Marvel Studios Canada for putting together this just amazing experience with just, oh my goodness, just a free shirt, free food, just tons of photo opportunities and stuff like that. It was really awesome, and it just added to the experience of seeing it with a crowd of people who are fans of the Fantastic Four and Marvel, and it was just really, really exciting. Which also helps me because I can release this video a day early, and tomorrow, review all the Marvel sets. Anyways, if you're unfamiliar with how these videos work, we go non-spoilers, then spoilers, and Lego talk. How'd they do? What could they have done? What, hopefully, will they do? I'm very optimistic about that, but let's go ahead and let's jump into things. So non-spoilers, I really liked it a lot. I think it is definitely the best Fantastic Four movie. I think that there's a few things here and there that sort of hit me afterwards, and I'm like, oh, I wish we saw this, or, oh, that doesn't really make sense. But anyways, I don't know. I think that the cast was really great. I look forward to seeing them in more things. Obviously, next is Avengers Doomsday. That's no secret. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really talk about this without going into spoilers. Oh, trailers showed way, way, way too much, and people talked about this way too much. Every single time that it was something as simple as Ben in a fedora or something, like discussing films, or other people would be like, first look! And I tried my best to avoid watching trailers for this because I wanted to go in just completely surprised. I watched the first trailer, I watched the trailer that they played ahead of Superman, and everything else I had, like, I think every little bit spoiled, even though I muted terms, even though I did all this stuff, but because of just pictures or them revealing too much stuff in TV spots, final trailers. I won't even say it in non-spoilers because it is a spoiler. It's crazy to me how much they put out there ahead of time. But anyways, let's go ahead and let's jump into spoilers. So first of all, as it opened, there was a look that Pedro Pascal gave when Sue told him that she was pregnant, and it completely he disappeared from me. And the rest of the cast as well was just incredibly, just their performances, their bond. I really loved Johnny and Ben's dynamic. Like, it was just great. I will say, even though I couldn't see the thing, Ibon, I heard and saw Cousin, and just his joking aroundness and all that from the bear. Still really incredible performance, but I will say as well, for the thing, this is what I realized afterwards. We didn't, unless I'm forgetting, we didn't see him punch really anybody. We saw him tackle the Silver Surfer and then do the cannonball from the sky or whatever with Johnny, which was all the trailers, and now it's in Marvel Rivals. But all that, and we didn't see him, like, I wanted him to fight like the apes or different things like that. Like, there definitely was stuff cut out of this, and we know that for sure with Red Ghost. But I kind of just, I wish that we could see them like fight more hand to hand, or even like, I don't know, Reed doing that would be cool. Sue, like, in a battle or something. And I'm sure we'll get that in Avengers Doomsday with Doombots and different things. But I look forward to that. I feel like that was a little bit of like robbed. I don't know. Like, even would have been cool to see them take out the wizard and all that. Like, help the police go and take care of that. I think would have been cool. But Johnny was great. I really liked his stuff with the Silver Surfer as well, and just how he was, trying to crack the code and all that. I will say he just probably could have given that to Reed, and Reed would have figured it out in a day instead of him taking an entire month to do all that and learn that language. But kudos to Johnny. He actually did stuff which was really cool. And I liked his obsession with space and just being like, when are we going to go back? I thought that was really fun. As well, for just Reed and Sue, like, their dynamic was very believable. I think that just, specifically for Sue, I think that her speech and everything outside of the Baxter building was very impactful. And it was cool to see that she founded the Future Foundation and everything, and just bringing peace to everywhere except for Latveria, which I thought was really clever. And it's great that we're finally 3 movies in actually leaning into him being the ruler of Latveria and stuff like that. And I'm fairly confident it's going to be Robert Downey Jr. and that's our doom, but we'll have to wait and see the big bad or whatever. But just going back to what I talked about before about them revealing stuff, like, her pregnancy was kept hidden until I don't know what point, and then they're like, all right, she's pregnant, we're gonna put it in all the trailers. And then it turned into even further of going like, I don't know what trailer it was, about Reed saying he asked too high cost. What was the cost? He said our son. Which that then just went everywhere. And it's like, again, I was avoiding this stuff, and there was just no avoiding this, and it was just so frustrating. And I knew obviously about Franklin. We saw the Funkos, there's different toys and all that, and it's not so much that. I just think that it's so interesting, the change up of let's keep it a secret, and people theorizing, is she pregnant here with the clothes that she's wearing? This looks like maternity clothes. To, yeah, we're just gonna embrace that and go full out with it and just reveal that Galactus wants him. And I was just like dumbfounded by the decisions here. Even small things like Ben with the beard, Ben shaving. There was no avoiding the amount of people being like, first look at Ben shaving. And it's like small little tidbits of this and jokes and little stuff like that would have been great to go into the movie not seeing that. But you just shoved it down everyone's faces. Insane. Muted and blocked. Like, it was so much for this movie, more than anything that I can think of in a long time. Yes, they still kept a lot of stuff secret. I'm surprised by that, especially when it came to Galactus, and his reveal I thought was very menacing, revealing him in the seat, his eyes, him inducing labor for Sue. We never saw, again, I didn't see that being shown anywhere of her having to go into labor, the black hole, all that entire sequence. And maybe that's why I liked it so much. But Galactus's voice was phenomenal. I loved how he just was so terrifying up there, and they were just expecting to go, they weren't expecting this huge guy. I thought was really cool. And then him walking around the city, and just the practical effects there I thought were really great. And just him getting out of that little hover seat or whatever that came down was really cool. I liked the plan. The minute I saw the egg thing and the teleporting, I'm like, okay, they're really, they're really leaning into this here. We're going to have to remember that for down the line, and that's going to be important. But then I was like, oh, they're going to move the Earth. That's really interesting. And then the switch up there of, no, now we're going to move Galactus, I thought was really cool. Originally, I thought, so his ship would be left behind, but they didn't realize that he snuck onto the Earth beforehand. I thought that's what was going to happen. I didn't expect, no, we need to push him into this spot. I thought was really cool. However, also very stupid. We literally see them building it in the middle of the desert in Egypt. And I know that the pyramids are there, and I'm just using that as an example, but there are other spots that they built those beacons, undoubtedly, that are in the middle of nowhere. That, as the smartest man alive, why are you going to do this in the most populated place on Earth? I know that you didn't have a lot of time, but you also have the wormhole technology, so you could just go on over or teleport yourself over there. But it was just crazy to me that they're like, you know what? We're going to evacuate all of New York. And I'm not saying that was a bad thing, because anybody who was angry with Superman about they evacuated the city, that's so stupid, how would they do that? They did it in Fantastic Four here, and it makes so much sense because these cities are constantly being attacked. They would be used to doing evacuations and stuff like that. I thought was really cool, and using Mole Man here too would have been really cool to see them fighting and all that. But I really thought the use of that was really cool. You could also just teleport Franklin from beacon to beacon to beacon to beacon, in like to frustrate Galactus to buy more time. The other thing was with the press conference, maybe don't tell the entire world that the one thing that'll save the Earth is your son that you're not willing to give up in order to save all of humanity. Just a thought. Maybe not the wisest choice there. Clearly, he's had no PR training. Just a question. But is his ship still out in the atmosphere, just hovering around Earth? I think that's also really interesting. But all right, jumping to the post-credit, end credit. Talk about the end credit. It's just the cartoon, so you don't really need to stick around. But the post-credit was really cool. The 4 years later thing, that was awesome. And then also just seeing Doom was very, very exciting. I'm very intrigued by that. And I would also just like to point out to everybody who yelled at me the last time for Thunderbolts when I was like, are you kidding me? You're putting the Fantastic Four credit theme at the end and spoiled what the post-credit was going to be about the Fantastic Four arriving to 616, and then it didn't pay off here. So that's set up for Avengers Doomsday, which I thought was really interesting. I guess that Doom maybe brings him to 616. I don't know. But either way, everybody being like, it sets up the next movie, all the post-credits do, which rarely happens, by the way. That's illogical. Like, for example, the next movie is Spider-Man before Doomsday. But anyways, it's just interesting. I really thought the Fantastic Four were going to lose and that they fled to our Earth. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I'm very excited for Doomsday. I just am excited for more Fantastic Four. Lego talk. We got one set, which is the Fantastic Four versus Galactus set, which is insane. I look at this and I'm like, I can't believe we have this as a Lego set. I love it a lot. They are being added to Fortnite tomorrow, and thank you to Epic for sending them along early here so that we can actually look at this. If you are picking up any of these outfits, please use code AshtonFlash. It would help me out so much. Sue here, she's got dual molded legs, dual molded arms, and the face looks a little different, but still pretty much the same. Reed, they've inverted the hair, but they didn't add the white streaks, but he's got the dual molded arms and legs as well. Ben's here, dual molded legs. He's got the hands there that aren't white, and it makes sense because the actual Lego Fortnite figures, they can't have the gauntlets so that they can interact with vehicles and different things. And then Johnny has a different hairpiece, more accurate, I think, as well as the dual molded arms and legs, which looks so cool. And it's such a shame that these aren't the figures we got. I really would have loved that synergy of just, you could play as these figures in Lego Fortnite or something. Would have been so much fun to advertise, but no, it's like, oh, they're just so much better than the figures that we got in the set. But who knows? They could, down the line, update them, fix them. My friend Forstud created this incredible design for the Fantastic Car set. And I love the detail of, he redid the packaging and everything, but the classic 60s Lego logo there is so cool. And I wish Lego would do this. That's so awesome. But the idea of the Fantastic Car, we need that. I would love more sets for sure. Especially, we need a Flame On Johnny. I think that looks really cool. And the Silver Surfer chasing that with the Fantastic Car, I think is very perfect. Depending on how much time I have with all the reviews, I might do a separate video talking about this, but I'll rattle off a few ideas and things that we need to get. The spaceship would be so cool. The launch pad, you could even maybe include the ring. I feel like that's less important. I know even before the movie, people wanted Herbie. I think this is just the summer of big buildable characters for superheroes that we need. I really want a minifigure version of Herbie so badly, like a small little one. I didn't talk about Herbie before, but stole every single scene. I love Herbie so much. Made me laugh. Every little beep, every little it's so perfect. And what am I forgetting? Oh, that's right, the Baxter building. Oh my goodness. Every single time we were inside the Baxter building and in a different room, just like, oh, this would look so cool in a Marvel modular building. I love the design, the curve of the Baxter building. It just looks so beautiful, so unique, that I'm like trying to picture this next to my city, and it would just be so cool to have that. And the different rooms, just all the different colors, the reds, the yellows, the kitchen. Then you see Sue and Reed's room. You could have the room with the cradle. There's so much stuff that I'm like, oh my goodness. I'd love to see that middle like helipad there that they had in the center, even down to, I don't think I have pictures to put in the video, but I don't remember if it was a police helicopter or a news helicopter, but there was just such a classic 60s retro design. That'd be so cool to have flying around the outside of the building. And of course also a upscaled Galactus figure. Yes, we just got this Galactus figure, but even if it's not based on the movie, but just this large one would be so perfect. And I really don't get how they chose to do this buildable character over that. What did you think of the movie? Do you have any ideas for Lego sets that you'd like to see them do next? Again, thank you so much to Disney Canada, Marvel Studios Canada, and Epic Games, and everything that I got to do early here for Fantastic Four, for Steps. And thank you so much to you guys. Like, the fact that I'm getting to go to movie premieres and get sent early Fortnite stuff. Like, if you were telling me that 7 years ago when I was starting this out, blow my mind. So truly, thank you guys so much. Anyways, be sure to subscribe, turn the bell notification so you don't miss out on future Marvel Studios reviews just like this one. I have a playlist here. Next, we have the Eyes of Wakanda show in 2 weeks. I've seen nothing for that. And then later on, Wonder Man. But anyways, hope you guys did enjoy the video. Hope you all have a great day. We'll see you all in the next one.